As we got to the bush, we had very little time, so we got set up very quickly for the shot.
Chris gave him a whistle and caught his attention just long enough for me to take a shot.
This episode of African Hunter has been brought to you by Sniper Africa and Zunga Safaris.
I was so excited about this hunt, not only about the opportunity to shoot great animals, but also just being able to be in one of my favorite places on earth and to have a camera crew with me to film every single moment. Zunga Safaris is located right at the foot of a mountain range which holds a lot of childhood memories. One particular mountain just stands up high above the rest, and when I was 11 years old, I climbed 6,000 feet to the top of this peak, and in 2012 I returned and climbed up to the top and watched the sunrise. It was one of those experiences I'll never forget, and to be here again was really special.
So after an incredibly successful first episode, we knew that on this next hunt we really had to up our game. We only had a couple days to get out there and find our 2 trophy animals, so when we got to Zunga there wasn't too much time to settle in. We had to get straight to business. Chris Bolton is an old friend of mine, and when I saw him again it was just so good to connect, and he made us feel just right at home. The property is just absolutely stunning. I mean, where in the world can you wake up, step outside onto your balcony, the animals are all around, it's just really a personal African experience.
Well, we're shooting with a 2506 today. Same casing as the 3006 we used last time, but a nice smaller bullet, so it's a faster moving round, which is really nice. We just want to make sure that the rifle's zeroed before we go shooting. It's always the humane thing to do. If your rifle gets bumped around in the vehicle, then you can lose your zero and put in a bad shot, so that's what we're going to do now. The plan was to go after an Impala. On the previous hunt we went on, the Impala that we went after just eluded us and we actually missed out on taking one. So on this hunt we wanted to make up for that.
Chris decided that the best plan would be to begin our hunt right at the top of the hill and then start to work our way down real slowly. We must have been there for about an hour, and after scanning the bushveld thickened, Chris spotted exactly what we were looking for, a herd of Impala.
Oh yeah. We're gonna wait until they move up. Let's get ready, so look about it. Once we were within range, we set up for the shot, but things turned out to be a little bit more challenging than we had expected. The heat of the day was just so intense that the whole herd just decided to lie down in the shade. To make it even more challenging, the Impala were almost exactly the same color as the red-brown sand, and that made it almost impossible to spot them with the naked eye.
Chris pointed out a particular ram that looked really good. So we had our target, but it wasn't presenting a shot, so it was going to come down to a waiting game. About an hour passed, the sun was beating down on us, we were sweating. Almost the whole herd had moved off except for the one animal that we wanted to take a shot on.
Finally, the Impala that we were after stood up and presented me with a shot. He was half hidden by a bush, but I could make out just enough of him to place the shot exactly where it needed to be.
Okay, should we go for him? Okay, yeah. Man, that was cool. Yes, we must have waited for about an hour, maybe even more, for him to just move out of the shade. It's the most stubborn Impala I've ever seen in my life. But eventually he came out, and I think I put a pretty good shot on him. I think he probably ran about 50 to 60 meters and then kind of you just saw him shake a bit and then he went straight down. So I think I did get him in the vitals, so it was a good shot. So very, very happy. Let's go down and check him out.
We began the long walk down. It was hot. We were physically and mentally fatigued, but it was all totally worth it.
Oh, well done.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Very nice. Looks like a good placement as well.
Yeah, that's a perfect shot placement.
Nice.
It's the angle that he was standing that could have gone more into the stomach, but I mean, you can't get any better than that.
It's good.
And his horns are beautiful as well, but it's not huge. It's a nice trophy, but he's not a monster. It's actually a good gram to get out of the herd.
Yeah.
You don't want these guys to be beating the genes into the herd. So it's a good one to get out. But he's fully developed. He's not going to grow anymore, basically.
Yeah, it's all about the experience, and the experience was great. Even though the wait was long, it almost makes it more worth it. When you finally get it, you feel even more stoked. You know, it wasn't just come out here, see the animal, take the shot quickly and it's done. We actually had to work for it really hard. So I'm very glad I got it. The sound of the shot sounded quite hollow. That's why we thought at first it might have been a stomach shot when he ran off, but within 30 to 40 seconds he was down and he was out. So it ended up being a really nice shot. I'm very, very happy.
After a long day's hunting, we were welcome back to the lodge. We managed to get around the fire, just relax and have a couple drinks. And it was great to just sit around and talk about the day's events and plan for the next morning.
The Blesbok is an animal that I've wanted to shoot for quite some time. I'd never shot one before, but I was looking forward to the opportunity to be able to take my first one. When I saw the sheer number of Blesbok in the area, I was just blown away. They were absolutely everywhere. And while some of you may think that this makes my job as a hunter easier, you would be mistaken. The more animals there are, the more eyes there are, and that means that it just takes one wrong move to scare off the whole herd. And that is exactly what happened.
So we head up to this mountain here. There's usually a group of Blesbok that hang around the top here. We're going to stalk and see if they ride, if we don't drive. Get too close, you know, they're going to run off. So we're just going to walk up and see what we can find. Okay, great. There's a whole herd of Blesbok at the top of this hill, but we're just trying to see which one is a good one to take. Once we know that, we'll know that we'll be able to stalk in a bit closer, but that in itself is going to be quite a challenge. There's a whole lot of eyes there, and they seem to be a bit skittish now. They're hopping around quite a bit, so we're going to have to be very careful when we stalk in.
It just took one wrong move and the whole herd was gone. We missed our chance, but we had to stay positive. We decided that we needed to just keep at it, change plans a bit, and head back down to the valley again to see if there was anything there at the bottom. Just as we had hoped, as we arrived, there was a huge Blesbok right out in the open. He had seen us, so we knew we had to be clever on our approach. We had to cover quite a bit of ground, so we used a large bush to keep us concealed as we moved in. As we got to the bush, we had very little time, so we got set up very quickly for the shot.
It was quite a tense situation because we had been looking for an opportunity like this all day and we'd finally got it, and we needed to take it with both hands. We knew that if it kept on walking, it would go over the hill and we'd miss our chance, and then we may not get another chance. Chris gave him a whistle and caught his attention just long enough for me to take a shot.
Nice. Yeah, wait. Here we go, mate. Come. Nice. Also a good shot. I saw him jump up a bit. I was going to give him time to pass, and then we're going to go check him out, but that felt really good. Oh, that was awesome, man.
Adrenaline rush. It was a bit tough, eh?
Yeah, it was.
This is a beautiful animal. It's got a bit of heavy bases, and he's opening nicely up to the top. It's got a very nice thick neck. So yeah, this is a good all-round trophy. It's a good one to go for.
We didn't have quite the same waiting game like we did with the Impala yesterday. That was more a case of, you know, we saw which animal we wanted quite early on, and we had to just wait for it. With these, there were a whole lot of them, and in the first field we went into, they kind of disappeared as we were trying to stalk in close to them. We went and we climbed up the mountain and we tried to find another herd, and there were just so many of them that it was extremely tough, not only to find one that was good to take, but to get close enough to them, because there were so many eyes, and because the moment one saw us, they were off. We eventually came down into the valley again where the first herd was, and we saw this guy within range, and kind of every time we tried to set up, it would kind of get over the hill and we wouldn't get a clear shot of it, and we actually had to change setup a number of times. Eventually he gave us a good shot and we took our opportunity quickly, and it looks like I got a really good shot on him. This shot, you know, if it was a broadside shot, would have been perfect. I think he was quartering away a bit, which meant that I probably could have placed the shot slightly further back, but he did this jump and he went straight down. So I'm extremely happy, and the challenging hunts are the ones that are the most worth it, because you've earned them. You don't just go somewhere and you shoot an animal quickly. You earn your hunt. Those are the ones that you remember. So I just got to thank you, Chris, for putting me on this animal. Well, it was a long day, but totally worth it in the end, and I had lots of fun. It was awesome. Thanks.
Very cool. Thanks, man.
What an awesome way to end the trip. I mean, it could have gone either way. If we hadn't taken our chances on the Impala and the Blesbok, we very well could have come home empty-handed. Matt got great shot placement on both animals, we got all the footage we were looking for, and we were able to experience true Eastern Cape hospitality at Zunga Safaris, which was just the cherry on the top. Thank the Lord we're able to go into our next hunt with great confidence, knowing that we're able to achieve all our goals under some tough circumstances and some serious pressure. If you would like to be on African Hunter, then contact us at rtztvproductions@gmail.com. And for more hunting action, subscribe to In the Zone Hunting Productions on YouTube and follow us on Facebook.